At 91, I finally understood why my children stopped calling. I didn't lose them in a fight. I didn't lose them all at once. I lost them slowly by always believing I had more time. That belief felt harmless, responsible even, and it cost me my children. Most mornings now, I wake up to a quiet house. The kind of quiet that presses down on you. No footsteps, no voices, just time, too much of it. I'm not telling this because I want sympathy. At my age, sympathy doesn't change anything. I'm telling it because there's nothing left to protect now. When you're this old, time behaves differently. Days move slowly, nights stretch on, and memories don't come in order. They arrive without warning. Sometimes it's my daughter's laugh when she was 10. Other times, it's my son standing in the doorway, already grown, waiting for me to finish something I thought mattered. I used to believe I was being responsible. That's the word I hid behind. Responsible? I worked hard. I paid the bills, I kept the lights on. I told myself that was love. In my 20s and 30s, life felt urgent. There was always something unfinished, something that needed my attention. I'd come home tired and say, "Give me a minute," and I meant it. But a minute turned into an hour. An hour turned into tomorrow. And tomorrow turned into years. I remember my daughter asking me to sit on the floor and play a game with her. I told her I would right after I finished reading something for work. She waited. When I finally looked up, she was asleep on the carpet, still holding the game piece in her hand. I stepped over her instead of waking her. I remember my son's school events. I made some of them. I missed others. I always had a reason. I told myself there would be more games, more chances, more time to become the parent I planned to be later. Nothing felt like a breaking point back then. That's the danger. There was no single moment where everything fell apart. Just small delays, small choices that felt harmless. As the years passed, my children needed me less in obvious ways. They stopped asking as often, they stopped waiting in doorways. I didn't notice when that shift happened. I told myself it was normal. Children grow up, parents step back. What I didn't understand was this. Distance doesn't announce itself. It just settles in and gets comfortable. Phone calls became shorter, visits became less frequent. I was proud of them. I truly was. They had their own lives, their own families. I didn't want to intrude, and still I believed there would be a moment when everything slowed down, when work would loosen its grip, when I could finally turn fully toward them. That moment never came. The clarity arrived the way it usually does, quietly and too late. My wife died first. After that, the house became even quieter. I reached out more then. I tried, but habits don't undo themselves easily. And distance has a way of staying where it is. One day, my son stopped calling altogether. There wasn't a fight, there wasn't a final argument, just silence, longer than any silence before it. My daughter moved farther away. We still speak, but carefully, politely, like people who share history but no longer share a rhythm. That's when I understood something I wish I had known earlier. Not all losses are loud. Some are just the absence of what should still be there. I sit here now with pictures, wall, and no one to tell the stories to. I know their favorite foods from decades ago, but not their daily lives. I know who they were. I don't fully know who they are. Some doors don't reopen no matter how gently you knock. If I could speak to you just as one human being to another, I'd tell you this: be careful with delay. Not failure, delay. The kind that feels reasonable. The kind that hides behind responsibility and good intentions. I thought I was building something for my family. What I didn't see was that they needed me with them while I was building it. I'm not saying abandon your work. I'm not saying ignore your duties. I'm saying notice who is waiting for you while you're busy becoming who you think you need to be. Because one day you wake up old, and the people you love have lives that no longer include you the way you assumed they always would. I don't have much time left now. I make peace with that most days. Some days are harder. On those days, I sit quietly and let the memories come. I let them hurt. It feels honest to let them hurt. If this meant something to you, hold on to it gently. You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just don't keep telling yourself, there will be more time. I told myself that for decades, and at 91, I finally understand what it cost me.